make sure that I hit record on this. Okay, so in your, let's go and have a look at your domain list. It's just loading, sorry.
Yeah.
Give it a second. Okay, so Rose Cottage Hugget, we just literally just click on manage. And if anybody else is ever needing to do this, this is just the most straightforward way to make sure that if you're marketing one domain name but the website sits somewhere else, that it happens seamlessly. So the redirection isn't noticed necessarily by the people that are viewing the site. So let me, whilst that's loading, let me grab this domain name. And there's a redirect option. Sometimes we need to go to the advanced DNS, but we'll have a look and see how we get on. It takes about half an hour for the redirect to work, so it won't work. It doesn't work instantly.
No.
Oh, it's not loading for some reason. We'll come back to that once it's loaded. Have you got questions about your website?
Yep. Pardon?
Have you got questions for your website?
No, the website really is pretty much just the only thing I've got to do is just put the access statement on the accommodation page button to just download that. But no, I think everything else is really fairly...
It's looking great. And so obviously your Visit England went well.
Yes, it did, yes. And another reason why I just thought maybe changing the name is that I have a plaque now at the bottom of the drive showing that. And you've always got cyclists, you've got walkers going around through Hugget, and I just thought if they saw that and there's the Rose Cottage sign above it, they would put two and two together, and it just seemed to me it ran to, instead of having a domain name totally different to everything else that it runs.
So are you wanting, because the other thing you could do is you could switch the website across to rosecottage.hugget.co.uk if you wanted to, so that's your main domain name.
I would do, yes.
You want to?
I think so, don't you? What do you think?
So what you've got at the moment is, so yorkshirewildswaycottage.co.uk is what's hosted. So that if you want to, you can't switch your hosting, but what you can do is you can host two domain names, and then what we would do is we would need to transfer this website across to your new hosting that you create. So it's much more complex to put the website on Rose Cottage Hugget. The easiest thing is to redirect the domain name, but it's entirely up to you. If you want to kind of just ditch Yorkshire Wilds Way Cottage, then we'll do the entire switch. We'll move it across to...
I think I am. I think I will.
Okay. All right.
I don't know. I mean, I know you were better having a domain name that had lots of different things on, that when people Google it would pick it up.
Yeah. All right.
Even if your homepage has quite a few of those words in it, won't that?
Yeah. All right. I'll drop you a line after this and let you know what we need to do, because I'll log into your hosting plan and see if we're able. It's probably going to mean that you need to upgrade your hosting plan. But I'll have a look at it after this and let you know what we need to do in order to...
Thank you. But that's it. Sorry.
That's okay. That's all right. It's good that you recognise it now before you start marketing the site.
So. And, the more I think about it, if you look at a lot of companies, everything runs the same.
Yeah.
And it just seemed more logical doing it.
Yeah. No, that's fine. Okay. Right. Well done. Well done. Got it all up and running. That's great. You're almost ready to go.
Well, I am really. It's nearly, it's all pretty much there. But there was, and I have been thinking about it for a while, and then I thought, right, one day I'll have a look on Namecheap, and it was available, so it just seemed, I thought, right. But I bought it, and then I didn't know what to do with it. It was only £5. It was nothing really, so
Yeah. Brilliant. All right. Well, I'll drop you a line after this once I've had a look.
All right then. Okay. I'll mute off.
All right. Cool.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Hi, Claire in Spain. I'm so impressed that you're joining our calls all the way from Spain.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, awesome. Hi. So we might not be impressed. I've got like a whole page full of questions.
No, that's great. It's great. It means you've been busy.
Well, I've tried to be. So the biggest problem I'm having is it still just keeps crashing every couple of minutes. Even if I check that all my updates are together and on different Wi-Fi's and stuff, it still keeps doing it. So I don't know what that obviously just makes it take a lot longer. It just makes it take ages.
I'll submit a support ticket to the child theme. So I submitted a support ticket to Elegant Themes, but I'll submit it to the child theme now because it was from, I think it was from Divi Lover, wasn't it? So I'll check with them and see, because it can't just be you. There must be other people that suffer that too. Let me just get where's my pen so I can write that down. Because I can imagine it's driving you absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, it's quite annoying. So I was trying to fiddle with it yesterday. It's not loading for some reason.
No, it's not, is it? But I think it's because I'm on Zoom. That's why everything's struggling to load. That's why that domain name, look, that was still load. Let me switch this off and then, there we go. Okay.
Okay, so the first question I had was, if you go down a little bit to here, where it says it's time for next level success, I was trying to switch that out for an image in the gold writing. So when I tried to do that, first I didn't know how to scale the image to get it to the right size. And then second
one, or the one in the background?
No, so can you see the actual writing? So I was trying to switch out that writing so I could put in an image instead there for the gold foil writing.
Okay.
Because you can't do gold foil writing just on it, can you?
No. So was there any gold foil writing on the actual child theme? There wasn't, was there? There's just the elements, these elements.
Yeah, I think there's just the elements. I don't think there's writing.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to be able to do gold foil writing.
So what I'd done is I'd got an image of gold foil writing, and I was trying to put that there instead.
Oh, okay. So
that makes sense.
Yeah. So let me log in. Now, I'm going to caution you about using images for text because it just makes it more difficult when you're scaling it for different devices. So when tablets and phones are scaling it, it sometimes handles it differently because it knows how to do it with text. It knows how to resize the text successfully, but sometimes it doesn't know how to do it with the image. But we can have a look and just and see. So is the gold foil writing already in your media library?
Yeah.
So what you can do is you can just add it in. You just literally add it in as a normal image. So let's go and have a look.
When I did that though, two things happened. So first, it was way too big and I didn't know how to scale it. And second, when I actually got rid of the purple writing, the gold foil disappeared. It like just disappeared. You could only see it when the gold writing, like when the other writing was on top of it.
Okay, that's a bit weird. So this is what you're wanting to do. You're wanting to put it here, right?
Yeah.
So we could just add it as a new image module. And let's just see what size it is. Okay, so it's 1600. So if you want to scale an image, you can see down here, you've got display settings. So you can scale it to an extent here. So at the moment, it's scaled to medium. If we just put it as large, we'll see how big it appears. And if we put that in, I actually forgot to align it. Let's just make sure that it's aligned. so we're going to have the text beneath it, but I don't want to get rid of that yet. So let's just put that there and see how that looks. Okay, so it's too big, so we can scale it down. But once it's scaled down, is that the kind of thing that you're after?
I think so.
Okay, so what I'll do, rather than doing it in here, let's do it on, we'll just enable the visual editor, and then we can actually see what we're doing straight away. So if we come into here, we can just scale the sizing, so we can just change it with the things.
Okay, right.
So you can just change it.
What, I think what I was doing, I think I was trying to put it on as a background rather than an image. I think that's maybe where I was messing up.
So then you can delete that one. I'm just thinking, because you've got that really nice background image, I'm just going to put a suggestion forward, and you can choose to ignore this. But your background at the moment is white. Actually, it's a gradient. Oh, so you have got a slight. Let's just see. So you could change it so that it's slightly see-through. Hang on. I'm just gonna, hang on, I'm gonna take the gradient off. I'm gonna put this as a background color. And so you could see the background image through it if you wanted to, like that. But you might prefer it solid. Oh, where's she gone? We've lost her. Let's just, I'll save that anyway, just in case. I'm guessing Spain might have had a power cut. Nigel, I'm going to come back and have a look at yours. Let's just pop back here and see if you've made any changes. Yeah, great.
I've lost the menu again, but hey.
Oh, we can get that back. Oh, Claire's back with us.
Okay, yeah, carry on.
All right. We lost you, Claire. What I was saying was you can put a gradient, not a gradient, you can put a translucency so that you can see that beautiful image on the background if you want to.
Yes, I do. That was one of my questions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out how to do it though. So, because when I was trying to do it, it was making the whole thing translucent rather than just the white.
Okay, so I was doing it on the green settings, the row settings.
Right. Okay.
So I went in and I went to the background. You actually had it on gradient, so I've removed the gradient and I went to a background color, and I just put it as white. And then here you can play with the translucency, so you can change how translucent you want.
That was translucency. I thought that was something else. So that's cool. That's good.
So I've put it, normally I put it somewhere between 70 and 80 is normally pretty good, but you can play with that.
That's fab.
Okay.
So do you think it looks better with the gold writing, or do you prefer the purple writing?
Yeah, I do think it looks better like that, but let me just save this and let me see how it looks on other devices. So if we just have a look at it on tablet, it is scaling. Let's just, sorry, it's jumping around a bit. It's my internet connection's obviously a bit dodgy. So that's it on tablet. And then on phone, yeah, it's scaling okay. So just as long as I don't know what's going on with my thing. I'm sorry that's jumping around a little bit. This is looking a bit weird on phone. So we'll need to check that, your sign up for.
So when I looked at that on mine, that bit was okay, because that was another one. So that was another one of my questions, is on the phone and the mobile, on the tablet, at the top of the page, there's like this big gap that I thought looked weird. On my when I looked, that bit was okay. So I don't know what's happened there. But
I just had to close it out because it was behaving strangely. So I'll just load it again, and there's a gap. It might be the divider that creates the gap. Let's have a look.
because there's no my little Claire McPherson logo doesn't show up.
Yeah.
There's just like this big space at the top. It looks a bit weird.
Yeah. All right, I'll have a look at that. Okay. Yeah, because you want it there, don't you? How did you add the logo? Let me just check.
The logo, I added that into like the site logo bit so that.
Let me just see if it's, let me just check that this area here isn't blank. Just want to see what this is that you've got in here. Yeah, okay, it's in the right place. All right, I'll check up on that. Perfect. Okay, next question.
So the next one was on those 3 pictures further down. You know, the 3 images that we talked about last week.
Yeah. Okay.
Those 3. So I've put them in as plain.
Mm-hmm.
But really, I want 4 of them. Is there a way I can add another one in?
Yeah. So let's just. So this is the columns of your row. So at the moment, so that you can see that these are all held within the row, and this is your configuration of your row. So at the moment, it's 3. We can just add 4, and then you can just you can literally just have a 4th one there. You want to make sure. Oh, I see. This one's bigger because we've got content in this one. So, yeah, I mean, these look really nice. I think these are going to look really great. And then you're just going to have to decide how you want to add the content over. So if this is, let's just say this is something like, where did I actually add that content? Oh, here. That's the hover content. Let's see if we add a title, what it actually says. So if you had something, let's just say mastermind. The thing that you're going to have to figure out is because
I remembered as I was doing this, I remembered the reason that I ended up putting the writing on the image was because when I did it this way, the writing wasn't very clear on top of the image. Yeah. And that's why I ended up going back and putting the writing on the image and then putting the whole thing in.
So what you could do is you could put a gradient on here. Now, gradients let you add them above an image. So we can just put it really slightly so that it adds it slightly above the image. And then you can change the translucency of it so that you can, I actually want it on the other one. It's not working as well as I hoped it would actually. Let me just see. If we place the gradient above, and what you could do is at the top, you could have it so that it's, because that makes the text stand out more, so it's clearer, but you might not like that effect, but it definitely, it means that you can read the writing better.
Yeah. Okay, I'll have a play with that then and see what I can do with it.
Yeah, and then once you've got that how you're wanting it, what I would do is duplicate the module. So from this grey area, duplicate that and move it over to these ones, and then just switch out the image. Because then you've got all of the settings, the like translucency settings and everything is the same. if you need help doing that, then shout. Just let me know.
Okay. Okay, cool. Fab. So then the next thing was the next thing was the opt-in box that's at the bottom at the moment. No, actually, sorry, I'm skipping ahead. You know the little pretty, which I like, opt-in box that runs across higher up just underneath my picture?
Yeah.
Like the sign up for your email, that one. I tried copying that and moving it down so that I was using it again further down. And when I did that, it didn't look the same. It was like clear and you couldn't really see it.
Ah, okay, because you probably copied the row rather than the whole section. So if we duplicate the section, then we can place it anywhere we like. So let's pull it down. Let's just say you want it there, for example. Then that's it. The gold has gone, so I'd need to figure out how they included the gold. Oh, maybe the gold is from the section above and the section below. So we would need to have a look at how they've added the gold trim, but that's, to all intents and purposes, the rest of it's there.
Because that gold trim was one of the things that I've been trying to figure out, because like above my little picture, I put a yellow border around it because I was trying to just, not because I wanted a yellow border, but can you see, I wanted something to separate it. Really, I'd have liked the gold trim, but I couldn't find how.
Yeah.
It's like at the top, now that I've got it. I didn't really want the yellow border. I did that because I couldn't find the gold trim.
Okay, let me have a look at that as well. So, and yeah, okay, I'll take a look at that.
Okay, fab. And then the opt-in box at the very bottom.
Yeah, what's going on now?
Well, I don't know what I've done to that. I don't know what happened. I was trying to copy it. I was trying to copy it so I could move it, and it just changed like that, and I couldn't make it go back. And also, I couldn't even do anything with it. It's like not part. It's almost like it's part of that bottom. I don't know what's gone. I don't know what's happened with it.
Okay, but what we can do, because you've still got the original homepage, so we can grab it from there. Let me just see. Yeah, it's not letting me highlight it. So what?
It doesn't seem to even go down to there, because that's what I was trying to find.
Okay, I'll have a look at it in the modular one,
Okay.
and see what's happened with that. Yeah, okay, I see what you mean. So I think that this is this footer on all the pages?
I haven't looked, but maybe.
Yeah, I think it's I think it'll be past the template. So footer opt-in, okay. Yeah, all right, fine. I'll take a look at that. I mean, do you actually even want this footer as it is? Do you want that? Do you want that opt-in there?
I don't think so.
Because these are actually surplus to requirements. You know, if you had a really big site, it would be useful.
Yeah, I don't necessarily want
I don't think you need any of this section actually.
No. So you just turn that off.
Yeah, I think so. There's other ways that you could add like follow icons that I think might be nicer without them having to take up so much space, like so much length.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, I'll take a look at how we control this section, but it'll be a footer of the page, so I'll have a look at that.
Okay, cool. And I was wondering how we move my blog across.
How you move your actual blog posts from your existing blog. Yeah, we do. We can do an export from the so you need to log in to your existing blog or your existing WordPress site, and we go ahead and export them, and then we can literally just import them, and we can do that. Well, we can do that now on this call if you want to, if you've got the login details.
Yeah. Do you need the login details? Probably do.
Well, you can log in, and I can talk you through the entire process if you want.
Oh, okay.
So I don't want to panic you to check them out now. If you can't check them out, we can connect.
Do that next week or something.
Yeah, next week, or we can connect individually, and I can talk you through the process.
Okay, cool. And once we've done that, will my blog show up there automatically? Will
Yes.
my blog show up automatically?
Yeah, so it will show up in the. So what it'll do is it will import the single blog posts. Now, how you choose to present them, or how these are categorized to show up, these ones will be the most recent ones that are on your website. So the other ones will be further back, but yeah, they'll be accessible from your blog page once you actually pull together a blog page itself. I can talk you through all of that, so you don't need to worry about it. Yes, they'll all be accessible on your site.
Fab. And then I was thinking about it, and I was wondering about changing my header, that big bold header.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about changing it to something a bit more like Sarah's, Sarah Morgan's. So she's just got one that sits right across the top with her logo at the top left-hand side, and then the other, like a normal one, really.
What?
And then
I always forget what her URL is. Can you remember it? Something about
the art of manifesting, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. Something like that. Mastering the art of manifesting.
Yeah.
We should have a word with her about that. We always struggle to find her, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just want about having something simple like that on the top instead.
Yeah. And that's not difficult to do. Okay.
And do you think that would sit okay at the top of my site? Do you think that would look all right?
Yeah, I think it'd be fine. So are you thinking of having this over to the left as well, or this central and then the navigation down below?
No, I was thinking of literally kind of copying how she did it. So that up small at the left and then the things along. And then if we did that, would all of that bit like push down a bit like that?
Yeah.
So that's what I was wondering. Because I wondered if that would also solve the problem on the
It might do.
tablet and the other one.
Yeah, it might.
And then the last question that I had was, if you scroll down a little bit, where was it? It's this bit just above where those 4 little images are.
Yeah.
If you were there, that 200 pixel just above it there, that I wondered if we can get rid of that somehow, because it's just a big gap on there when you look at it.
Yeah. So so we can literally just drag and drop these margins. So we can just close that up, and then here
that one there's got I think that's got one of the gold things in. That's why it looks like it's empty.
Oh, okay. So when we come out of the
on the phone.
Yeah, it took me a while to realise that when they've got an empty box, it's sometimes the gold thing, and you can only see it when you're when you're looking at it normally, not in the visual editor.
Yeah. Okay. Oops. That's not what I wanted. Sorry, my everything's running really slowly. It's taking a while to catch up.
Sorry, I told you I had a massive list. I'm so sorry.
That's great. That's not a massive list. Is that everything on the list?
I think it is. And then the last one was just kind of a what do you think in terms of, I think it looks okay on the website, but I wasn't sure about how it looked on phone and tablet in terms of, at the top I've got those cool colours, and then on my photo I've got those warm colours. So I'll go from that like cooly purple to that warm cream. And I just wondered, I don't know, I was wondering if it didn't work or what people's thoughts were, whether I needed to do something about it.
I'm just I'm struggling for it to load. Hang on, let me just try again. I think it's my let's try it. And then this one's still, my internet connection's obviously struggling, so it's just struggling to load everything. But I mean, I think it's looking really, I think it's looking great. I think it's looking really nice, and I really like these. I like how you're pulling the you know, it reflects the logo really nicely.
Yeah, cool.
I'm just sorry that it's not loading. Yeah, I'll leave it for a moment to let it load. But yeah, no, I think visually it's really shaping up really, really nicely.
So you don't think that it's a problem with that cream on the back of the photo? I think it works okay.
Yeah, no, I think it looks really nice.
Okay.
I'll have a look at it again now you've pointed it out, as soon as I come off this and everything's loading properly.
Yeah.
But it definitely wasn't anything that I'd looked at and gone, oh, that doesn't quite work.
Yeah, okay.
So, oh, here we go. This cream, this is what you're meaning.
Yeah.
No, I don't think there's a problem with that at all. I think that's absolutely fine. If you're worried about it, you could put a gradient across it so that it kind of shades out the cream slightly over to the right, if you're wanting to. So yeah. Once it's able to load, if you want me to, I'll try that and I'll save it and show you it, and then I can always remove it for you again.
Well, do I just do it like you did the other gradients at the bottom?
Yeah.
I'll just play with that. I think I can probably have a go at that myself. That's all right.
Okay. All right.
That's it.
You just need to shift the angle of the gradient, because normally it's from top to bottom, but on this one you'll want it to be from left to right.
Left to right.
Let's just close that. It's not working.
I'll see if I can do it myself. If I can't, I'll give you a shout. And the very last question I've got, which is going to sound really stupid, but a few people have said this to me recently. What is a cachet? Because someone said to me a few times, oh, it must be a cachet issue. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. And you mentioned it at the beginning of the call. I'm like, what is that?
So it's basically when your browser saves something so that it doesn't need to load it each time. So let's just say you're loading Google. Sorry. Let's say you're loading Google on a regular basis. What it will do is it will cache that page so that it's not having to load it every single time you request it. But what that means is that if Google was to change its homepage, when you load it, you're seeing yesterday's version of it because it's saved it in your browser. So sometimes if your browser caches something, all it's doing is trying to reduce the load of loadings, trying to reduce the impact, the resource intensiveness of having to load it each time you request it, the same thing. So it's just storing it and it's showing you yesterday's version. So if you're making constant changes, sometimes you'll make a change, you go, I don't understand why it's not showing up. I definitely changed it. So that's when you need to either clear your cache or just refresh the browser to force it to bring in the newer version of it.
Right, okay.
I'm going to exit that page because it's it's funking around with this. Okay, cool. So I've got a little list of stuff, and so I'll get back to you about those. I'm actually running a workshop this afternoon, so if I don't get back to you till this evening, then I apologise, but I will. I'll look at it all for you.
Don't. It doesn't need to be today. It's fine. Don't worry.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so Nigel, I was just going to come back and check that you're doing okay, and then if anyone else...
Still managed to lose the menu, but I've got other bits and bobs done.
So I think, oh, okay, but all right, brilliant. The reason that you will have lost the menu, because, oh, you haven't lost the footer. Normally it would be if you'd switch the template from default to blank, you would lose the menu.
Right. Yeah.
So that it could be that you've just clicked on that by accident.
Where is that template?
Over on the right hand side when you're in the page itself.
Yep. Template is saying default.
Is it? Okay.
Let me set it back again. What I have got in Divi is the fixed navigation thing on the general settings is enabled. Is that correct?
Fixed navigation is enabled. Yeah, that should be fine.
Yeah.
So did you change, what else did you change when you were moving around on this page?
I don't, nothing on this page. I've tried to compare it to the contact page, and that one works fine. So if you scroll down the home page and hit contact or whatever, the menu on that one is fine, exactly the way I want it to work. It's just on the home page it's different, and I've compared the parameters on home and contact, and they look identical.
Okay.
So I've stuffed something up somewhere.
Yeah, I've just not seen that before. Okay, yeah. You've sent me the login details, haven't you? So
I have.
Okay. I'll have a peep.
Super duper, thank you.
Okay. All right. Good stuff.
Awesome.
Well done. And this is looking nice. This is adding some depth to it. If you wanted it to go all the way up to the divider, you would do it on the section rather than the row settings.
Hold on. All the way up to the full page width, you mean?
No, all the way up to these dividing sections that you've got.
Oh, okay. Where would I do it? Sorry.
You would do it. So I think what you've done. I think you've done it on the row.
Yes, correct.
If you did it on the section, you would get it going all the way across. You might not want it all the way across. I'm just letting you know that if you were wanting to eliminate these white areas.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Do the whole thing. So I'd split it into different sections.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, but these so are these just rows at the moment? They're not actual sections.
Yeah, there's one section, a whole boatload of rows.
Ah, okay. Yeah. So if you wanted to do that, you would need to split into different sections.
That's okay. That's easy peasy.
Okay. All right.
Good stuff.
Else before we pop off?
Nope. Return the missing menu, please.
Yeah, I'll have a look at that for you now.
Reward.
Yeah.
Reward for my missing menu.
All right. Fabulous.
Thank you very much.
Vicky, I just have one question if we're just about to disappear. If you've just got 5 minutes, would you have a look on the website? I did a plugin to download a PayPal as well, because I was just concerned on the website that you could pay money over through debit card or credit card, but nobody could use their PayPal account.
Yeah.
Stripe is just card payments, am I right?
Yeah.
So I did do a plugin for PayPal, but I can't, and it says it's active, but I can't see it on the side of my dashboard to get it onto the page. So if you've just got 2 minutes, if you could just have a look. It's maybe just me that I just can't seem to. What's
the plugin that you're using?
It was just a simple PayPal buy it now, but you could change the because it isn't going to be just one set price for one product at all time, because it could change, the deposit is going to be different. So that the one I downloaded was the only one I could see that potentially I could just make it work for me. Have a look. If you could just have a quick look. It says on my plugin list, it says it's active, but I cannot see it on the side.
Okay.
Allows you to put it on the page.
Yeah, all right. I'll take a look.
Just have a quick look, and then don't worry now. It's not the end of the world, but I would just like a payment page where they could use Stripe to do card and payments, but they could also use their PayPal account as well, because a lot of people do have PayPal accounts.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's. I do think if people look on a payment page and they see, I know you said Stripe is coming up, but I think they're a little bit more reassured if they saw PayPal as well.
Yeah, well, it's definitely, it's well established. So,
yeah. I know myself, if I go on, I always use a lot.
Do you?
Instead of using debit and credit cards, I use my PayPal account a lot more these days.
Yeah. Okay.
But anyway, don't worry,
I'll let you know.
No big rush.
All right.
Thank you.
Fabulous. Thank you very much, everybody.
Okay, have a nice time, Claire. Bye.
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 Bye.